Well, coming face to face with the failure that is your career ain't worth crying about, then I don't know what the fuck is.
Right, that guy in there turned you down?
Once they help me get into Italian movies.
Well, then what's the problem?
I gotta do fucking Italian goddamn movies, that's a fucking problem!
Come on. I like that shot.
Today's review will be on the DJ Custom. And wait, does DJ Tanner from Full House actually make custom 1/6 scale figures? And why do those two triangles on the logo there look like they're flying in opposite directions? They kind of remind me of the little spaceship from the video game Asteroids. Maybe they're fighting over that weird shaped asteroid there in the middle. You get two jokes for the price of one with this logo. And this is for the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Although that wasn't the name of the figure set when I bought it, it was actually called Hollywood Time Double Set. So as you can tell, they took the name Hollywood Time, which was kind of original, and they changed it back to the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood movie name. But they did change the font. If you look at that, the font's actually a little different. And they did change one important thing. They took away the ellipses after the word in. Because if you take things like that off, you can't be sued by other companies. Now, there should be no mystery that this figure set is based on the Quentin Tarantino 2019 film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And this box actually contains two 1/6 scale figures. One based on Leonardo DiCaprio's character and one based on Brad Pitt's character. And I'm a huge fan of both of those actors. And the fact that this film stars a character who's playing an actor in Hollywood. As an actor, let me tell you, this movie really speaks to me, and I absolutely love it. Man, this is awesome. Now, when it comes to this box, I'd only seen pictures of the promotional shots of the figures, and I don't even know what the in-hand product's going to look like, and I certainly didn't know what the box was going to look like. I kind of just expected a black box, I don't know, with no pictures or anything, maybe a logo or something like that, but that's about it. But this has actually got like palm trees and a huge sun. Jeez, that sun is really big. No wonder everybody there in Hollywood has tans. I mean, look how big that sun is. Let's look at the back of the box. Looking at the back of the box, and there's that sun again. But this time it's the back of the sun. So essentially the sun is mooning us right now, and I don't even know how that's even possible. Down here on the mountain we've got some warnings, and these warnings are actually kind of funny. It says, be very gentle when you open the box. Okay, you know, I'm not in the habit of treating my boxes quite the way the gorilla treated that luggage in the old American Tourister commercial.
Have we got a suitcase for you?
So I guess use that old commercial as an instructional guide on what not to do when you open the box, but there's actually more. It says, be very gentle when you open the box, fashion up and posing this product. Okay, I promise to be very gentle when I fashion up this product. Please keep the product dry. Precipitation, humidity, and all types of liquids, or moisture, can contain minerals that may shorten the life of the product. Okay? Keep it away from MIGs, from Silence of the Lambs, and we should be fine. Please do not store and expose the product to the high temperature areas or display the product in bright light for over a long period of time. Okay, let me get this straight. Two figures based on two characters from a movie that takes place in Hollywood. These figures based on those characters cannot be displayed in actual Hollywood. Got it! Do not use harsh chemicals, cleaning solvents, or strong detergents to clean the product. Okay, I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm not in the habit of treating my figures like they're Harvey Dent from Batman. I mean, geez, I don't throw harsh chemicals in their faces. But thanks, China, for all those warnings. I know now what to do. And I love the fact that they put like a caution strip up here, like, caution! You better use caution when you're playing with these figures. I promise! So, with all those warnings out of the way and the fact that I honestly cannot wait to see what these figures look like in hand, because like I said, I've only seen the promotional photos, I say we open it! Now, the box opens like a shoebox, and when you remove the lid and look underneath, you find the usual foam. So I say we look underneath this foam and check out the figures. With that top layer of foam removed, we find both the figures laying side by side, and this is awesome. It is so cool to see two figures in one box. Usually you only see one, in this top layer of foam. This is so cool to see too, and man, these two guys should be inseparable, and they are in this package. So let's remove this foam and see what kind of accessories they came with. After pulling out the foam that the figures are in and laying them down still frozen in carbonite and looking underneath, we find all of their accessories. And I gotta say, the one thing that jumps out at me are these stands. That is so awesome. Not only do they have photos of Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio, but they actually have their character names and they're spelled right. They don't have like some weird gobbledygook name or anything like that, that is awesome. Now, I know there are a lot of people out there that hate third-party figures, and they're like, they're unlicensed. Oh my gosh, they're taking the money from the mouths of babies. But you know what? Honestly, seriously, who cares? You know, these figures are probably not even made the kind of numbers that would even, you know, present a problem for the movie. And there's no way we're going to get every character we ever wanted made by licensed companies anyway. So it's nice that companies like this exist to make figures like this for the fans. Because honestly, not everybody's going to buy this set. And I'm so happy to get it. And honestly, yeah, maybe it was wrong of them to use their photos and the characters' names, but honestly, it makes them look so much cooler. And the fact that most third-party figures don't even come with stands anymore, the fact that you get these two awesome stands, that makes me very happy. Now, looking at the other accessories, you can see some extra hands there, the rest of the stands, and a few other things, but we'll check those out in a minute. So let's look at the figures, shall we? So, here are the figures fresh out of the package. First impressions. Do they look like the characters? To me, they do. They look more like caricatures of the characters and not exact copies of the actors, but you know what? It gets the idea across. Now, I know a lot of people out there have been complaining about the Leonardo DiCaprio head, and I gotta say, does it look like a caricature of Leonardo DiCaprio? Yeah. Does it look fake? No, I mean, look at his eyes and stuff. I mean, those, you can see how good that looks. And I mean, the sculpt is there. It's just that, yeah, there's something off about it. Now, that doesn't make it a bad head. I mean, I think it looks really good anyways, but I do see what people are saying. But look at the paint on it. He's got like rosy cheeks. His eyes are glossy. I love it, man. I think he looks really good. Now, I have another Leonardo DiCaprio head, and it looks way more like him than this one does. But honestly, I think this one fits more the character from the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood movie because he looks older, he's a bit more cragglier or whatever. And if you look at the other head, where it looks more like Leonardo DiCaprio, you can definitely see he looks like a younger version of Leonardo DiCaprio. But man, this is my favorite Leonardo DiCaprio head sculpt that I have. This figure is so awesome looking. And the fact that his facial hair looks pretty much the same as it does in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, you could use this head. Now, like I said, it doesn't look quite as old as he did in the movie, but honestly, it would still look great on the shelf. So yeah, I totally get what people mean when they say they don't really like this head sculpt or that it doesn't look enough like Leonardo DiCaprio. Honestly, I think it looks enough like the character, and I think that makes me very happy. Plus, you know, it comes with accessories and stuff like glasses, so when you put them on, it might make him look even better. But honestly, I think this really does fit the character, you know, better than that other head sculpt does, even though it looks more like Leonardo DiCaprio. This one has like the bags under his eyes and stuff, and he's got like the tan and stuff like that. So you know what? I really do like it a lot. And honestly, the prototypes from these figures when they were first announced were not that good, and I took a chance on it, and I'm happy with this. Plus, like I said, it's not a very expensive set. So, I mean, you get two figures, and this head sculpt's not that bad, guys. Seriously, could it be better? Yes. Am I unhappy? Nah, I think it looks fine. Now, looking down here at his outfit, now this leather jacket is so soft. Seriously, when I pulled it out of the package, I mean, this feels so soft. I don't know, it's like lambskin or something like that. Now, there are some inconsistencies or whatever with the movie. Now, up here at his collar, now he wore kind of a turtleneck, but he didn't have a fold-over turtleneck. It was more like a half turtleneck or whatever. And so there's that, but honestly, who cares? And the buttons on his jacket are different on the figure because the buttons were just kind of like painted brown buttons, whereas these are like, you know, ornate kind of gold buttons. And junk like that. But yeah, and there's another difference down here at the shoes. He was wearing cowboy boots, and right here they gave him more like moccasins, which kind of fit the Brad Pitt character better, but even then they're not like they were in the movie because he literally had moccasins with no soles and stuff like that. So it's okay though. I mean, honestly, you get some brown cowboy boots, throw those on there, and it'll be fine. But yeah, this figure's pretty awesome. I like him a lot. Let's look at him from behind. So here he is from behind, and check out that hair sculpt. Then down here you've got the jacket, and like I said, this jacket is so awesome. I mean, seriously, they did a really good job on it. The pants are form-fitting. Now, these pants fit him way better than the Brad Pitt figure's pants fit, and we'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, these actually look like they were tailored for this body. And speaking of which, the bodies are basically like I would assume a knockoff kind of old school Hot Toys body, and they could be better, you know, to be honest, but you know, like I said, these aren't expensive figures, so I don't know what anybody was expecting. I'm happy with it. Moving on to the Brad Pitt figure, and I gotta say, this head sculpt looks more like Brad Pitt than the other one looks like Leonardo DiCaprio. And if you saw any of the photos from the prototypes, this is way better than they advertised originally. This looks so good. Now, I'm assuming this head sculpt was used for another Brad Pitt figure, and they just kind of repurposed it for this one. But that's fine by me, because that is one good Brad Pitt likeness. Now, when I first saw the figure out of the package, I thought maybe they made his hair a little too long. Now, he's got shaggy hair in the movie, but I thought maybe this was a bit too long. But honestly, nope, it's that long in the movie. Now, I wish the figure had a little bit more blonder hair, but that's a small complaint. Now, another small complaint I have is the fact that they got his sideburns wrong. Now, in the movie, his sideburns go down to the bottom part of his ear. And another thing is he has stubble through the whole movie, and they didn't, exactly put stubble on this figure. He does have like the hint of a shadow there. But yeah, he had kind of like grayish stubble through the whole movie, and I wish that was there. Another detail that's missing on his head that is kind of essential to the character is he's missing all of his facial scars. He's supposed to have a big scar there on his forehead, one on his chin, and then one through his right eyebrow. And none of those details are there, but that's okay. From the shelf, you're never going to notice the scars are missing. That is a really good Brad Pitt likeness. Down here at his shirt, his collar comes up a little too high, but honestly, it covers up the articulation on the lower part of the neck, so that's fine by me. Another cool detail is, check out that. They added the zipper to his blue jean jacket. That is awesome. Now, I've seen a lot of 1/6 scale blue jean jackets, but I've never seen one with a zipper before, and that is a detail he has in the movie, and they could have left that off. They could have just put a blue jean jacket on this figure, and it would have looked fine. But nope, they added that zipper detail, and that is so cool. Now, looking at the glued-on buttons there, that's kind of what the Rick Dalton's jacket should have looked like. His buttons should have been like that, but brown. But instead they gave him like the ornate kind of sewn-on buttons that kind of dangle off or whatever, but that's okay. Working our way down here to his pants, and this is the one complaint I have about this figure. His pants are really baggy, and they didn't fit, Brad Pitt like that in the movie. And these remind me more of like 21st century dolls, like the, the army ones and stuff like that, or the villains line that I used to collect. They had kind of clothes that fit them like this, so that's what that kind of reminds me of. And yes, you could swap it out with another pair of jeans. But these are fine. I just wish they were more form-fitting the way the Rick Dalton's pants fit him. Now, up here at his jacket, you'll notice that his jacket and his jeans match. Now, in the movie, they matched too, but they were more darker. This is more like acid wash. Now, I wish they had more of the vivid dark blue or, light blue, whatever color it is, more of a vivid blue. This is more like a white and blue. And, yeah, I wish they'd have gotten that detail right, but that's okay. Now, down here at his shoes, that's another detail they got wrong. Now, in the movie, he's wearing moccasins. Now, these are pretty darn close to moccasins, but in the movie, he doesn't have soles and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, these are at least closer than the Rick Dalton shoes because he's wearing cowboy boots, and that's way off. But honestly, these are close enough to get the job done. Looking at the figure from behind, and I love that hair sculpt. That looks so good. Working our way down his blue jean jacket here, that looks really good. I do wish the color was a bit darker, but that's okay. Over here, I love how the cuffs are open. That looks so good. Got the pockets on the back of his pants, and then down here you got the back of his shoes. Another cool detail of this figure is if you look down here underneath his blue jean jacket, you'll see that he's actually wearing a belt with the little Stuntman Association's belt buckle, and that is an awesome detail to include. That is so cool. Now, looking at the figures side by side, you may have a problem with the likeness, but when they're standing together, there is no denying who they are supposed to be. And honestly, I collect the Gangster's Kingdom figures made by Damn Toys, and those are usually based on actors or characters from movies. And if you were to get like the Vincent and Kerr 2-pack, well, it's obvious it's Vincent and Jules, but they're cartoon versions of them, and these look more realistic than those do. So to me, these look fine. Could they be better? Yeah, but honestly, they're good enough to me. Now, moving on to their accessories, which rhymed, very strangely, which rhymes again. First up, you get 8 extra hands. You get 4 of these almost like a trigger finger hand, and then you get 4 of these accessory holding hands. Now, the figures themselves came equipped with relaxed hands straight out of the package, so I guess that's enough of a selection of hands to choose from. Although, there's another inconsistency. Rick Dalton actually wears a gold pinky ring in the movie, and none of these hands come with the ring, and man, I wish that accessory was included. It would look so cool. Now, although they didn't include Rick Dalton's ring, they did include 2 watches. Now, these watches are matching, except for one has a black band and one has a brown band. Now, in the movie, Brad Pitt's character actually wears like a leather cuff watch, and his watch is a little bit different than this, so these aren't really accurate to what he wears. Now, the brown banded one is close to what Leonardo DiCaprio's character wears, except for his is more of a gold watch, I believe. Now, so I mean, who cares? I mean, honestly, at least you get watch accessories, and I believe those little watch faces are metal, and that's really awesome. Next up, you get two tiny little baggies. One has 2 cigarettes in it, and one has Rick Dalton's necklace in it, and that is awesome. Next up, they include 2 pairs of sunglasses. Now, these glasses match, but obviously the orange ones look more like the ones Brad Pitt wore in the movie, so that's really cool. Now, one of the things that's really strange is the fact that the arms of the sunglasses are like really short. So I don't know if they plug into their hair, I can't really tell, or if they just kind of rest on their face. We'll have to wait and see, but honestly, at least it included the glasses, and I can't wait to see what they look like on their head sculpts. Last up is an essential accessory for any washed-up actor or stuntman, a bottle of Jack Daniel's whiskey. And check that out, it actually says Jack Daniel's whiskey, and that is so cool, man. I mean, that's not like some knockoff label there. I mean, I'd say they got all the details on there right, even Lynchburg, Tennessee. That is so cool. Turning it to the side, and you can see the whole label's exactly the same as a real bottle of whiskey. Down to the photo of Jack Daniel himself, and you know what? That is awesome. Now, I've seen a lot of little 1/6 scale liquor bottles being sold and stuff, but never have they ever had the actual label from the bottle itself. This is awesome. I think it looks really cool. You can read every word, and they did a great job. So, here are Rick and Cliff all decked out. They're both wearing a pair of sunglasses, and those lenses are real. That is really awesome. Over here, you can see that Rick is wearing a necklace, and that necklace is really detailed. On the other side, it's just flat, so that is awesome. Down here, you can see he's holding a red apple cigarette, which you know how much he loves those. Over here, he has his watch on, and so does Cliff, and that is cool. Now, are these figures perfect? No, but look at them. Does that not look like the 2 characters from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Yes, it does. And you know what? If you're a fan of this movie as much as I am, man, these would look so good on your shelf. Like I said, it's a really good value for both of these figures. I love the stands. Didn't come with a lot of accessories, but man, what it did come with, I think fit the figures well. He could use some new jeans. I would love to get him some moccasins because I know they make the Hot Toys Tonto figure that has shoes that are pretty much like the moccasins he wore in the movie. He needs some cowboy boots. I think old Rick here came out a lot better because he actually has more of the pieces that are closer to the movie. So that's really cool indeed. And then, like I said, he needs new shoes and new pants. And I think that's it. I mean, seriously, I think they're awesome, and I highly recommend them. I know a lot of people out there are going to say, well, they're not perfect. But really, is anything? These may be not absolutely perfect, but that doesn't make them bad figures. And I absolutely love them. So, there's my review of the DJ Custom Once Upon a Time in Hollywood double figure set, and this set is awesome. Now, like I said, this originally was called Hollywood Time, and the only bit of reference to that name is on Brad Pitt's belt buckle. It actually says Hollywood and Time at the bottom, and that is cool. But seriously, I do recommend these figures a lot. I mean, are they perfect? No, but honestly, I love them, and I love the movie, and it's just so cool to finally get these figures to add to my collection because I'm a big fan of it, and I'd love to see it represented on my shelf. And honestly, if you like it as much as I do, try to seek them out because they're really cool. So, until next time, tune in for more food reviews.
This cigarette tastes like fucking shit. And by the way, who chose this photo, all right? I have a double chin, all right? Nobody notices that crap?
Hey, this is Nolan North. You don't want to miss Food Reviews.